Nobody in our village crossed Black Hollow Jungle after sunset because people entered it and returned without remembering their own names. For years I laughed at those stories, until 5 of us accepted a challenge that changed everything forever. The air felt strange immediately, like invisible eyes were following every step we took inside those trees. Even birds stopped singing there, and only our footsteps echoed through the endless darkness around us. Then Umar noticed strange marks cut into tree trunks, symbols that looked painfully carved by hands. Nobody recognized those symbols, yet staring at them too long made my chest suddenly tighten with fear. That we laughed nervously and kept walking deeper, pretending none of us felt the growing uneasiness inside. Soon we discovered old footprints in wet mud, but they were heading in impossible directions. Those footprints looked human, except every foot seemed bent like broken bones twisted beneath skin. Night arrived faster than normal, swallowing sunlight as if the jungle itself wanted complete darkness. We built a small campfire, but the flames shook violently even without any wind around us. Then Adil whispered that he could hear someone breathing somewhere directly behind our camp. We pointed flashlights into the trees, but there was absolutely nothing standing among the shadows. A second later the breathing returned, louder now, circling us from every direction at once. When I looked beyond the fire, I saw 2 enormous eyes, floating silently between distant trees. The eyes vanished instantly, but the terrible feeling remained, like something had moved much closer to us. Nobody spoke a single word because every face around the fire suddenly looked pale and frightened. Then Umar asked why there were 6 shadows moving beside our camp instead of only 5. That our blood froze because an extra shadow stood between us, taller than every person sitting there. That we turned around together, but nothing stood there except trees and endless blackness watching us. Suddenly a branch snapped nearby, and Adil ran his flashlight toward the sound without thinking. Something white moved between trees so quickly that none of us clearly saw its shape. Adil chased it for only seconds before his screams suddenly exploded through the jungle darkness. That we followed his voice and found his flashlight lying alone beside wet, disturbed leaves. Adil had disappeared completely, leaving no footprints, blood, or sign of where he went. Then I heard whispering beside my ear, but nobody was standing anywhere near me. The voice sounded weak and broken, repeating my name in a strange, painful whisper. I turned toward the sound and saw Adil standing far away between the trees. His body looked wrong because his arms hung unnaturally low, almost touching the ground beneath him. Then his head twisted slowly backward, and he smiled at us without moving his body. That we ran immediately because whatever stood there looked like Adil, but it was definitely not him. Behind us we heard footsteps, except they moved too fast and sounded completely different from human feet. The sound was wet and uneven, like giant hands slapping against mud instead of feet. Umar suddenly stopped running and stared silently toward trees that none of us understood. He kept whispering that somebody wearing his face was standing deeper inside the jungle. We looked carefully and saw another Umar smiling beneath hanging vines 20 meters away. The real Umar screamed and backed away while the other one began walking toward us slowly. Its movements felt wrong because every step bent sideways like broken bones moving beneath skin. Then the jungle itself started whispering our names from every direction around us at once. The whispers grew louder until we covered our ears and collapsed beside giant tree roots. When the voices stopped, Umar was gone, leaving only deep marks in the wet ground. We followed those marks and reached ancient stone ruins hidden beneath thick jungle vines. Inside the ruins we discovered hundreds of names carved into walls stained with dark marks. Then I found my own name carved there, and beneath it was today's exact date. Years later I escaped that jungle, but now I cannot remember my real name anymore.